Ashe fam, this is Innocent Smith, aka the Wellness Witch, coming to you from an undisclosed location. So today, wanted to dive into a share with you guys about some new divination tools that just got into the collective, right? And these tools are, well, okay, let me back this up a little bit and start by saying first, let me close the blinds. No, not everybody's business. Anyway, but yeah, so really wanted to start kind of culling our collection and working primarily on tools that are specifically geared towards love, peace, and soul connection, right? And love, peace, and soul therapies. So with that being said, there's going to be some decks that are already in the collection that if they don't meet that criteria are just going to be, culled out. And then some new decks that we're acquiring specifically for that purpose, right? So with that in mind, and I'm not going to deep dive into all of these decks, but I just wanted to show you what I just curated for the collective. I'm super excited about that. So the very first one is Tarot of the Old Path, right? And then these decks are in addition to the ones that I just shared with you guys a few days ago, like yesterday, a few days ago, right? So that being the case, I have not opened any of these decks yet. Like, they are hot out of the package. They literally just arrived, and so I wanted to wait. See how much I love you guys? Really wanted to wait and open these with you to share kind of a impressions and moving some stuff around. Really hate saying unboxing because, I mean, even though that may be what it is, I hate the word unboxing, but just really wanted to get a first impressions, first look, as if you will, a first look with you guys, right? So again, Tarot of the Old Path is our first deck, and I picked this one up because it's one that's supposedly based on a more witchy vibe, and we'll get into that in a little bit. And so this particular deck is the AGM deck, created by Sylvia Gainsford and Howard Rodway. If I mispronounced any of that, my apologies. It's not intentional. As this is a tarot card deck, it is a 78 card deck. And it says, created by the artist Sylvia Gainsford and the author Howard Rodway with the help of 8 witches and representatives of the traditional Wicca path. So, I don't claim to be Wiccan, right? But I don't feel like you have to be. If something vibes with you, right, then it vibes with you. And so that's why I, grab stuff like this. So that's the first one we're going to look into. And then I also picked up, and so with this one, I have to give you the caveat. This one is a oracle deck by David Wells, and the artwork is by Roberta Orpwood. Again, if I mispronounced it, it's not intentional, okay? It's all love. This is a 44 card deck with guidebook, and it's called the Tree of Life Oracle. Right? That's the back of the box. And you guys know, like, these are some of my favorite boxes if we have to do boxes. I hate tuck boxes. I just hate them with a passion. Anyway, yeah. So caveat to this is that with this particular deck, I picked this up to go along with, to pair, to integrate with some other decks that are in the collective that I feel like are very, very much on that vein of like Tree of Life, very very Kabbalistic sort of decks, right, that lend themselves well to that. And so for this beauty, assuming that, I like it and want to keep it in our library, well, I'm going to do a whole separate video talking about this particular deck and how well it pairs or how well it marries with some of those other decks, right? So that's going to be a whole other thing. I'm so excited about that one. Next, we have a deck by Annie Tarasova, illustrated by Annie Tarasova. This deck is by Valerie Tajita. Doing my best. It's called the Cosmic Magic Oracle. It's a 44 card astrology deck with guidebook. And the box looks like this. I know. Does all the things. Y'all know it. And you see the box. So, our funds always go to supply these decks. If ever there comes a day where something is donated right to the cause, I will let you guys know. But in the meanwhile, unless I tell you otherwise, I purchase all of these. I curate and acquire all these decks for us, right? Because I consider what we're doing in art, you know what I mean? And it takes what it takes, and it takes the right tools to be able to use this. So the next one that we have is one that, you guys, I've been itching and going back and forth about adding this deck in, because I really consider this to be a true work of art. And I really understand that it's not a deck that's going to resonate with everyone. That's okay. Not everything resonates with everyone, right? Like, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. It's cool. It's cool. Do you, boo. Do you. I totally understand that. But this deck right here, it's been calling my name for quite a while, and it's like, I know you're gonna get me. I know you're gonna get me. I'm not even worried about it. I'm just gonna lay here, and I'm just gonna chill, and I'm gonna wait for you to show up, because you know you want me. Like, you know you want me. You know they need me. You know you want me. And I tried to resist it, and it was like, I don't know. But it was like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna wait. And finally, I couldn't resist it anymore, because I was just like, oh, I want you. They need you. Gotta have you. Do you know what I mean? All right, so without further ado, this is the Hieronymus Bosch Tarot deck. I mean, I'm just saying. And this one is by Travis McHenry. And Travis, if you're listening, if ever this gets out to you, love you, babes. Love your work. Love your work. Actually, adding some more of your decks in the collection, because, you know, you be doing the damn thing. So, yes, thank you, Mr. Travis McHenry, for doing what you do and adding to the wide world of tarot and divination, and just, you rock. I haven't even opened this yet, but I'm telling you guys, I know. So, again, this is a tarot deck, so if it's the full deck, and I'm assuming that it is, it should be 78 cards, so we're not even going to get into that. But here's a sneak preview of the back of the box. I know there's glare because there's still plastic on it. I told you guys, like, it's hot. It's hot off the truck, y'all. I haven't opened anything yet. I waited for you. All right. And so the last one that I have to do a sneak preview of with you guys, and when I'm saying sneak preview, I mean when I open these decks, like, I'm only going to share a snippet, like a handful of these cards, because otherwise this video would be like, we're not doing that. It will be entirely too long to be showcasing 5 decks right now. No, we're not doing that. But the last one. And this one I only recently found out about. Oh my gosh, you guys, like, your girl feels like I've been slipping, and like I've been tripping, because I'm like, how have I not heard of this deck? Like, it's those things. It's that voodoo that I do oh so well. I'm gonna take a second there. It's that voodoo that your girl do oh so well. It combines divination with, are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? With crystals and sound healing. I know! It's the Crystal Sound Healing Oracle. What? And this one is by, the artwork is by Sue's Born. It's a 48 card deck with guidebook. Hoping this is somewhere near the truth. Jerlyn Glass. Jeralyn. Jerlyn Glass. That's okay. And appreciate the box. Here's the back. Yeah. So I don't usually do this, but I even have the phone today, right? Just so that when we get into this baby, we can, make sure that it works and do a preview, because you guys, this deck has a special surprise. So if you don't know, we're going to find out. All right, so let's get started. Let's start where I started. And that is going to be with the Tarot of the Old Path first. We're going to open this baby first. That's like Christmas. You guys just don't know. Like, sourcing the decks, truly, sourcing the decks is a huge, I love it. Like, I absolutely love it. Because you really don't know how much thought and time and energy I put into, curating decks for the library, for the collective, because it's that important to me that we have the right tools and the right resources that can help us with all the things. And I know it takes what it takes, because like, life is not perfect, right? I'm not going to sit here and pretend to you guys and be like, oh yeah, like, I knew exactly what this business was going to be, exactly, what this was. Initially, I knew I had the feeling for it. I knew I had the calling for it. I know that I'm moving in the right direction with this company and growing it. And it's a very womb-centered, very heart-centered business, right? And I mean, that's like what the womb is. Like, you can't separate the womb from the heart. To me, you cannot. So in that sense is that, and that's one of the reasons why I named this business She Witchy Wellnez, right? Is because it is very much geared towards those witchy things and those things that have been so taboo for so long, and that still are in a lot of places, in a lot of spaces. And those things that, we're not supposed to talk about, particularly as women. We're not supposed to feel it. We're not supposed to talk about it. We're not supposed to deal with it. But we're supposed to deal with it. Whatever. So that being the case, and particularly all those things that I've heard all my life, that that's voodoo, that's witchcraft. Translation: that's bad, that's evil, that's wrong, right? But when you see these same things being done, you see remnants of it, or you hear about it, and because they flip the script and change the game and call it something different, right? So if you say I'm religious and I rock with this, that's different. We're not going down the rabbit hole, but I'm just saying that to say, before I digress, that's why, right? So caveat to that. So we're going to get into the Tarot of the Old Path first. And this one actually is a tuck box, but I will give it to you, AGM. This particular tuck box is not so horrible. Like, it actually opened up pretty easily, and I appreciate that. I truly appreciate that, because most of them suck. So anyway, yeah, let's get into this, shall we? So first of all, when we open up our box, we have this bit of lovely artwork on the back, and that's gorgeous, you guys. Like, the color is very, to me, it's very tropical. It's giving me island vibes, very tropical. Yeah. Yeah, that's quite gorgeous. And there's also something there. I don't know if you see it or not, but I'm going to turn it this way to see if you see it this time. Right? So along with the floral motif, I see, right? You see it? The infinity symbol? Okay, there we go. All right. So let's open this beauty up, because, can't not otherwise. And you guys know me usually, and I'm going to do this like later off camera, but if it's a deck that I'm going to keep, I always, open up with like some sort of cleansing vibes, right? Sound therapy, sound healing, or smudging or something, right? Something, to see how that goes. But, okay, in any case, what is this? All right, so we open it up. Ooh, and I know you can't smell it, but I'm just saying, there's a very pungent odor to this deck. Very pungent odor. But in any case, and then somewhat towards the back is the guidebook tucked in there. Now, I do appreciate that, and I can kind of understand why they did that, because a lot of times when you put these paper guidebooks into the box, right, if you put it towards the front, it screws up the book, like it gets messed up, right, when you try to close it. And if you put it towards the back, sometimes it can do that as well. So it's a kind of funky thing. You almost have to sandwich the guidebook in there, as they did. But the cards themselves, we look into them. This is the very first card from the bottom of the deck that shows up. And this is the Magician card. And I personally have to say, I really dig it. I'm not, how do I say this? I'm one for art, for the sake of art, right? And even if it's a little fugly, a little ugly, I'm not calling this deck ugly, but I'm just saying, right? Like, okay, so it's not so pristine looking, like this is not a beautiful, quote unquote, beautiful woman, right? Like, get in there, look at that face, right? And if you see this in person, you'd see what I'm saying. Like, she even has like this scowl on, but she's very, very in tune with nature and the elements all around her. So, do you know what I mean? Like, and that in and of itself is beautiful. So forget what she looks like. Do you know what I mean? Forget that she's got what looks like they have this somewhat hairy chest. Do you know what I mean? Like, very hairy chest. Very androgynous looking. Could it be a she? My initial thought was she. But could it be a he? Do you know what I mean? They. So let's just say they. But they also have these antlers. And I'm not going to get into analyzing every single card, you guys. I'm just telling you why I rock with this. But if you see these antlers on top of their head, right? And then you see the unicorn behind them. Like, there's so much symbolism in this card. And that I absolutely appreciate, right? I appreciate the layers. I appreciate all the things that are in here. Like, all the things that are in here, including the runes, including, you know, like the chalice, the sword, right? The elements of fire, air, earth, water that you see, like all the elements that are present, and the animals, and that you can tell that this is, you know, showing that this being is very, very much connected to the elements, and they are the elements. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm only saying that to say that so many decks these days have kind of gotten away from the true meaning behind what tarot is, you know what I mean? And they're just trying to make it pretty. Like, it just aesthetically pleasing, just pretty. And there's no real substance to it. There's no real meat to it. I personally, well, okay, so I'm going to sidetrack just very slightly. In creating our own deck for She Witchy Wellnez, right? I revised it. Like, our first deck that I was going to put out was, it's called something different, and I'm not going to say it right now because, you know, whatever. But the revision, right, to that came out as this deck that I'm hoping that you find is very multifaceted. It's very layered. I'm not gonna lie, I did use some, you know, animation graphics to help with that, because I'm not like the artiste that I can conceptually visualize what I want in this deck, and then to have to invest in, and I tried this for years, you have no idea, to try to invest and find the right artist that could bring that vision to life into these cards, where, you know, when you see it, you'll get it. It was so difficult, you guys. I spent so much money, and it got so frustrating, and I almost like just killed the deck multiple times. But I was like, no. And if somebody doesn't, you know, appreciate how I had to bring this concept to life, then, you know, it's not your deck. It's not for you. But in any case, that's coming soon, so stay tuned. Back to this one. So yes, the Magician card. That's absolutely beautiful. I love it. Then we have, this is Facebook, so, and YouTube, so I'm not going to show certain images, you know what I mean, right now, because you know how they'll get. But anyway, so moving on to the Three of Rods. And that's a really different take on this card, but really appreciate it, because there's a lot to dive into with that as well. We have, I'm just like randomly picking some out, the Nine of Pentacles. Moving on to the Two of Pentacles. Then we've got the Emperor. Yeah. And then we have the High Priest. Likewise, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. And I didn't even do that on purpose, like, but she's the face of the box, the Queen of Pentacles. That's beautiful. Thank you for that. Ha, that's funny. And then we've got Mastery. Card 7. We'll talk about that later. But in this deck, they call it Mastery. So you guys know that when I'm looking at a deck, I go based on the name that they give it. Because, you know, you understand the system, but we can change the name. Meaning it's the same. And then we've got card number 8, Strength. Yeah, these cards are definitely, for anyone who's wondering, not in order, by the way. And they came like that. And then we've got the Knight of Cauldrons. And so, another thing that I will say very quickly, and I'm not saying this to alienate anyone or to piss anyone off. I'm just saying it because, you know, I call what I see. And in so many of these decks, like, I can overlook, I really can. A lot of times I can overlook the fact that there's not a single face of color, not a one, in the average tarot card deck still, right? In this day and age, and I don't understand that, because I'm like, you know, the world is and has been for quite a while, right? Like a very diverse space. So for, you know, some individuals and creators to still go about this blind, you know, vanilla world as if no other flavors exist within it. And I don't just mean, I mean, okay, right? Let's just call it what it is. Black and indigenous people of color, like we've always been here. We've always existed. You know this. Do you know what I mean? And so to only show and to only depict a very finite population, percentage of the population, it's like, okay, I get you. You got your blinders on. You want, okay, that's cool. And so also, when we created the Forbidden Tarot, it is pretty primarily, exclusively Black, indigenous people of color. Do you know what I mean? Because when you don't see it, you make it. And I'm not saying that the Forbidden Tarot is like the first tarot deck of color. No, I'm not saying that whatsoever. But what I'm saying is, you know, I felt it was very important to include something that was like from the heart, because that tarot deck is very much, you know, something that I created exactly from the heart. And it's something that, you know, tells my life story through tarot. But it also just happens to, you know, honor and represent some of my people. I say some of my people because, you know, like a lot of us, right? Like, I'm multi-faceted, baby. Like, come on. So that's all I'm going to say about that. All right. So that being the case, let's look at really quick, like card stock. Card stock appears to be actually pretty decent. As you see, these cards are not flimsy. They're not very bendy. They seem to be like average tarot card size. And then, I mean, since they're like mixed in anyway, at this point, it really doesn't matter. So I'm just going to do a bridge shuffle real quick to see. Yep. And like right out of the box. Oh my gosh, you guys, this tray is not exactly the cleanest. I'm keeping these cards anyway, but just saying. So like right out of the box, do it this way. They actually appear to shuffle quite well. So I'm really satisfied with that. Really, really happy with that. Because, you know, like if the cardstock sucked, oh my gosh, that would be just like horrible. Especially seeing how I want to keep them. So yeah, I think they shuffle pretty well. Card size wise, like I said, about average. They are not borderless. They very much are all contained. Like the scenes are all contained. And I'm just going to show you if you see what I'm saying. Like you see this like kind of border on the side. They all have some sort of border container like that. They all do. Which is not a bad thing. There's also some white space. I'm only showing you this so that you understand that it's kind of like a marriage between a borderless card, right? And a framed card. And we will talk about that later, get into what that even means, right, artistically. But they have that. So that's not a bad thing. Actually, I like these cards pretty much. I'm not getting into pricing right now. I'm just showing you guys what I've added. And also because I'd have to like go back and, you know, pull up pricing and all that good stuff and list all that. So like that may be in the description box. And what I think I'll do is if anyone's interested in acquiring these cards, then I will just list where I purchased them from. I'll list the link, right, so that you can purchase should you choose. All right, so our next one that we're going to quickly go over is the Cosmic Magic Oracle. And again, you got, oh, that box. That's beautiful. It's the shoulder. Here's the back. It's the other shoulder. And the head. And the tail. You describe your boxes your way. I'll describe my one way. All right, so get into it. Open this beauty up, and all we have this beautiful little magic, little artwork where it says "You are the magic." I know you're seeing it in reverse. Don't worry about it. But you are the magic. So, and then we have, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the book. Yeah, so the book sits front and center, and it exactly mimics the cover, the box. It is, let's see how many pages. Oh, I know, I didn't tell you about the book in the Tarot of the Old Path. So before I go too far down the path, let me tell you about that really quickly, because I know somebody's going to be like, well, you didn't talk about the guidebook. Hold on, sis, hold on. All right, you're right, I didn't, my bad. So it's paper, as I said, right? And that's not a bad thing. But it is about 43 pages long, all told. And that all told includes like the little, you know, back page, advertising, marketing page for some of their other cards. And get into it from the beginning. They've got like, you know, our standard stuff, right? So it's got like descriptions, brief descriptions of the card meanings, interpretations. And these cards by themselves also, Tarot of the Old Path, that is. The suits are rods for the minor arcana, that is. We have rods, cauldrons, swords, and pentacles, right? Yeah, so instead of cups, it's cauldrons. That's pretty much it. And there are no pictures in here of the cards, just the descriptors, okay? So, I mean, but I did it. welcome. All right, so moving on. Cosmic Magic Oracle. So when we open up this one, we've got some, information about before we begin. It's pretty cool. So we got our intro, some information about working with the cards, self-care practices, which I really appreciate. Doing your readings, 1-card readings, 3-card spreads, 5-card spreads, and a before you begin section. And then we've got all about the cards themselves. And as I said, like, this one is based on astrology, right? So just know that. So we go from like Aries to the stars. And it has 143 pages, including about the author and illustrator. There likewise are no visuals of the cards inside of this guidebook, which is perfectly fine. But it just, goes into, and it gives you like a whole, pretty much like 2 pages, depending on, but on average you get about like 2 pages worth of information about the cards themselves. So there's that, right? Which I would much rather have. I'm perfectly fine with that. Okay. And then the cards themselves. Let's see. Oh, so we got our belly bands, but this one just happens to be white and it's paper and not plastic. Okay. And then sliding these babies out. Sliding them out. We have, ooh, the colors, you guys. So we have, starting with Aries. And it's gorgeous. Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And they are numbered. So number 1 is Aries, the beginning. And if you wanted to equate this to a tarot deck, then she would be equated to Innocence, or the Fool. Innocence in the Forbidden Tarot, but the Fool in the average tarot card deck. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to go through all of these. They're stunning though, you guys. And then we've got number 6, Virgo. Clearing. Ooh, they're beautiful. Number 14, Earth. Yeah, and growth. That's beautiful. Number 21, Sun and the being. Oh, you guys. I freaking love these colors. Like, what? And we've got number 27, Chiron and healing. Wow. Like, the hamster wheel is already going, and I'm already pairing these with so many cards in our library, right? For the collective, for some layered readings, because this is going to be fire. Then we've got Vesta for passion, number 31. Oh. And I love how these energies, right, are so multifaceted and can represent so many people. Oh, I'm sorry. So we got number 35, Black Moon Lilith, power. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My patron goddess. Yes. And then we've got number 41, the waning gibbous moon, gratitude. Oh man. And then the last one I'm going to show you is number 44, the stars and hope. I mean, oh, okay. And so here's the back of the cards, so you know what that looks like. Yes. So I can't even lie. Like, these cards are life for me. They're stunning. They are just simply stunning. Card stock, card texture, stock-wise, like, they are more oracle card size, not tarot card size. So a bit wider, wider than tarot. That's not gonna work. I know, but I tried it anyway. All right, so let me just pull a tarot card deck tarot card from one of my other decks. And so, standard tarot card size, right? And then oracle. And oracle cards can come in so many different sizes and shapes, you guys. But see what I mean? Like a little taller, a little wider. I know, this is a whole other deck, and we're going to talk about that later. This is, yeah, we'll talk about that later. But, for comparison, okay? And so, card stock is what I expect. I mean, honestly, not trying to be a card snob, but just saying, like, it's a really nice density on the cards, right? They're not super thick, but they're thick, and they're thick enough. And these cards did show up in order, I believe. Yeah, they're in order. Not that it really matters. But still, I want to see how they shuffle. So I'm going to kind of, like I would expect, great. You know what I mean? If you're a riffle shuffler, if you do bridge and all that good stuff, then you're going to be fine with it. They are not, the cards themselves, they are not super shiny. They're not high gloss, which I really appreciate, because that glare can like kill a scene, right, on camera. But they are vibrant. Like, they are so vibrant, and they're beautiful. Like, that's a, and I don't say perfect pretty often, but that's a pretty damn near perfect card. Like, really. I don't even mind that they're not gilded. You know what I mean? Like, not everything that comes to me has to be gilded, because to be honest with you, I have gotten into that, and I really love that as an extra little touch, right, of kind of like putting my stamp on my cards and being able to bond with them. So I like gilding my own cards these days. And they are borderless though, so no need for trimming them. Yay. Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like, trimming them can be a little bit stressful. It can be fun, but it can also be a little bit stressful. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, who wants to neuter their cards? Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to mess it up. I don't know where I'm getting this whole card circumcision thing from, but like, that popped into my head. But that's literally what it feels like. It's like you're circumcising the cards every time we come in and trim them. You know what I mean? Like, trim them down. So anyway, it is what it is. But these babes are staying. Like, I feel their energy already, and they are awesome. That is the Cosmic Magic Oracle. I'm so glad. I'm so grateful. First of all, to be able to add, you know, these cards to the collection. And second of all, you know, glad that I made that decision to add them, because they're beautiful. I know a lot of people, some people don't quite understand, you know, they're like, well, how many card decks do you need? Baby, I do this from the heart. You know what I mean? I do this from the soul. Like, this is my life. This is my business. So I need what the collective needs. That's what that is. All right, so moving on. We've got the Tree of Life Oracle from David Wells and Roberta Orpwood that I showed you earlier. So we're gonna open up this baby, and let's see what's inside, shall we? Oh, shoulders. Didn't show you that. And the head and the tail of the box. And I think I showed you the back of the box, but in case I didn't, here's the back. And this is being recorded with the iPad, not a camera, you guys. So it's not going to, like, you know, zoom in and focus. And I love you, but I'm not gonna lie, like, trying to do most things with the camera these days is like, I really kind of quit doing, like, with my camera, because it's so involved and it's just a lot of work. And not only do I have to record the videos, but then I got to take out, anyway, we're not going to get into that. It's so much easier with the iPad, and then I can just edit and whatever. So you're welcome. Either way, you're getting the content. You're welcome. All right, so we get a guidebook. And to this guidebook, we have, see if it gives us that. Our intro, a bit about what is Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, how to use your Tree of Life oracle cards, the deck explained, bonding with your cards, reading the cards, laying out the cards, consolidating your knowledge. And then we have the interpretation of the cards. And trying to see how many pages. Okay, so including the About the Author page, we have 133 pages in here. We do have some layouts, as you would expect. And just doing a quick little run through to see. And no, so there are no pictures of the cards inside, right? There are no illustrations. But what we do have is at the back a symbolarium, which starts with the page for it, introducing it. And so that means that we've got like planets and astrological signs. I'm cool with that. And we've got animals and bird signs, which is quite beautiful if you think about it. Do you know what I mean? And then we've got things and glyphs, like other things or etc. and glyphs. And that's quite great because it really should allow you to be able to access and unlock meanings, you guys, with several other card decks, like not only this deck but several other decks, right, that you can kind of look at them and tell what they mean. Need some fresh air. Pardon me, I'm gonna crack a window or two. Just a moment. Okay, because initially you don't feel like you need air until you're in it for a minute. It's like, oh, fresh air. All right, so we've got a belly band. And as we're getting more light, I'm gonna actually turn these extra lights off and save on our electricity. Yes, I had a relative that used to say that, by the way. Electricity is cool, it's cute, it's quaint, I love it. All right, so these are oracle cards, remember. Width-wise, I think they're gonna be about the same as the Cosmic Magic Oracle. I'll just double check, but I mean, not trying to be snot or anything. I don't think it really matters. And usually, here's the other thing, I don't keep belly bands on. Like once I pull the cards out, I pretty much leave the belly band off. I think they're the same size. Yep. I mean, it's like a millimeter, like a fraction of difference between card sizes. So if you happen to rock with the Cosmic Magic Oracle and you like that size and you can handle that, you should be pretty okay with the Tree of Life Oracle. This is another deck that I really have been, you know, going back and forth with. Should I get it? Should I not get it? And really could kick myself because I don't know why I waited so long to add it to the collective, because I kind of love it, even before I got my hands on it, and I'm just now getting my hands on it. But the concept of it for what we do here, right, at She Witchy Wellness. So I thought it would be pretty great to add it. So in any case, the back of the cards look like this, which is kind of beautiful. There's a slight gloss to it. And then the front of the card, starting with, I'm just going to show you the very first one. And these are not numbered, by the way. But it's the Tree of Life. Map, support, and connection. And I think that the color story in these cards is quite beautiful also, by the way. Cardstock, it's kind of matte. It's not, you know, gloss. It's not super gloss, so it's really beautiful. Next we have the Spiritual Triangle. As I said, I'm just showing you guys a few of these, right? Then we have, now some of these cards are numbered. I get that back. I told you, but the first ones I showed you were not. So this is Shokma, wisdom. And that colored story, absolutely gorgeous though. Like, and it's kind of a watercolor sort of look. Now, to me, if I was relating this particular card, Shokma, to a tarot card, the one that immediately comes to mind for me would be the Hierophant. Not only the Hierophant card, but specifically the Hierophant. It's quite beautiful. Then we have number 6, Tipperith, which reflects beauty. Now, this would obviously, to me, relating to a tarot card, right, would be the Sun. And it's so much layered symbolism in that card as well. That's beautiful. And then we've got, now this card, I know on the Tree of Life has no number. It's that card that lives in the void. And in a tarot deck, we call it death, but actually it's death, and it's knowledge. So it represents the abyss and secrets and lessons yet to be realized, or the by and by, right? And I'm not going to really get into it, but like you can kind of see it as like this separation or this amalgamation that's coming together, right? There's so many things in that. We'll unpack that later. For now, we're just talking about it. Now, interesting that I told you about Shokma being represented to me for one of the Hierophant, right? Because within this deck, we do have number 16, the Path, that actually is labeled the Hierophant. So there's that. And then we have number 20, well, not number 21, but the 21st Path, or the Wheel of Fortune. So you can see that some of these, like right off the bat, even if you don't know much about tarot, that they directly correspond with tarot cards. And then some, you know, can kind of like go in between, and they connect with multiple cards. Then we have the 24th Path, and this is called Death. I know what I told you a minute ago about death, but this is different. So this is death, grief, rebirth, and transformation. And although this is an oracle card deck, I have to tell you guys that it's one of the most beautiful ones that I've ever seen, actually representing death. Like, that is a stunning card. Then we got the 28th Path, the Star. Which, that's a gorgeous card as well. Okay, and then the last one I'll show you is the 32nd Path, the World or the Universe. Funny, I had a card that I created for the Forbidden Tarot that very much looked like this card, and you'll see when you see the deck. But anyway, okay, so inside the box we have, no two trees are alike. This is yours and yours alone. Grow, stand tall amongst the stars. Which I think is quite a fitting message for this deck, right? Very, very nice. All right, you guys. So, as I said, we're getting close to our pieces, to our, oh my God, like I'm just going to call that the dessert deck, right? The Crystal Sound Healing Oracle. That's for dessert. So it's when we finish the rest. So the next one that we have is the Hieronymus Bosch Tarot. Yay! Oh my gosh. Yeah. And again, thank you, Mr. McHenry. So this box, what can I say? Oh my God, you guys, like, I know, get into it. It's quite something. It's quite beautiful. It's quite stunning. I really love that sort of electric blue. And then when we go to open this beauty up, it's like, peekaboo, I see you. What? So it opens like that. And it's beautiful. And then we've got a ribbon tab pull. And I'm trying to show you as much as I can as I open it. Because, you know. And then we've got the guidebook. Which, I mean, in and of itself, is just, I can't one-hand this. So, it's paper, but it's still beautiful. Oh my gosh. And there's so much color in here. So much color in this. There's illustrations. And so much color. Like, from the time we open it up. And this deep midnight magic blue. Right? Ah, that's gorgeous. And the intro. Love that. So, let's see. We've got in all, including the about the artist page, 105 pages. If you don't count the back page of that, that would be, you know, but still, it's 105 pages. And then, yeah, so we definitely got color inside of here. And the pages look like this, with a color illustration of the cards. Thank you, Mr. McHenry. And then, so that is for our, yeah, these are beautiful. Okay, we've got an appendix, or an index of the paintings and the cards. That's nice. Wow, okay, that is quite beautiful. So, our, it's major arcana. Our minor arcana is the appendix B. And so, no, it's not. Okay, I assume, but no, it's not. Anyway, so as far as the tones in here, we've got berries, birds, skates, swords, books, coins. I mean, there's quite a few things in here, you guys. And then we have also got wrath, lust, sloth, envy, gluttony, greed, pride. Books, vessels. Yep. So, any case, not getting into the guidebook. Going to put that aside for now because we're just having a quick glimpse at the cards. But this ribbon kind of continues to write because it's long enough. So then you can pull out your cards. If they did that right, you can pull out your cards, like lift them out. And then when they come out, and it's the inside of the box without the cards, still gorgeous. But when they come out, they've got a paper belly band on to, you know, keep them from just sliding all around the place in the box. I'm like so beyond excited to work with these cards because it's been such a long time coming. All right, and so then the shoulders of these cards. Now these are gilded, and it's that same blue, right? Like that same sort of vibrant electric blue. It's beautiful. And then so this is the back of our cards, and it's the scene. It's the scene from the garden. And then highlighting the very first card that we have. I'll tell you about cardstock in a minute. But the very first card that we have, because they seem a bit warped already, so I don't know what that's about, is the Wayfarer. And I really love that these cards are truly very medieval, have a very medieval sort of, you know, old world theme as well. And they are borderless. It's one of the reasons why I got them. Oh my gosh. But to see the whole scene, like, anyway, all right. So then we've got who? Deception. I don't know what you see, but I see so many things in that card already. And then we've got the Dreamer. Oh, like I feel like I'm in an art gallery, like this mini art gallery with these cards already. They're stunning. We got the Ace of Berries. I'm not giving you guys the meanings just yet intentionally because we're just kind of running through them. We've got the Baron of Skates. There is symbolism and meaning. We'll talk about that later. We've got the Baron of Swords. The Baron of Vessels. The King of Books. The Prince of Coins. Sin of Sloth. The Sin of Greed. We're going to have so much fun with this deck. And the Sin of Pride. There was some very specific reasons why I wanted to acquire this deck, and just the things that it represents, and we're going to unpack that. And it means a lot to me already. Oh my gosh. But yeah, this is a deck that I won't really be able to read with across like my typical channels, and definitely not on YouTube, because you know we ain't doing that. But it will be on my private channels. So the Knight of Berries. All right, so that's all I'm going to show you from this deck, because again, it's just a sneak preview, right? Just wanted to show you how these cards go. Oh yeah, so cardstock, as I said, like these cards showed up for whatever reason. Like they're a bit, I don't know if you can tell, but they're a bit warped. Like they're kind of swaying a little bit. I can tell. They're bowed. Do you see what I mean? Like there's this little dip here. See, yeah, see it now? But I'm still keeping them because like, that's okay. I'm going to press the hell out of them. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to smudge them and sage them, and I already know what crystal I'm going to give them a bath with. And yeah, me and these babies, we are going to have so much fun. Really looking forward to working with this deck. It's stunning. And as I said, it is rich, and I mean rich with symbolism. Absolutely rich. When we start doing our readings with this deck, you'll see what I mean. Because then we'll get into the meanings behind the cards. For now, this is just strictly for show. And now, whew, you guys, if you stayed with me this long, you're a real one, and I totally appreciate you. Absolutely love you to pieces, but I really totally appreciate you. Please like, share. That would help, to get this out to other people who may need this and who would truly appreciate it as well. So I thank you for that. So this is our Crystal Sound Healing Oracle. And this is the one that I pulled out the phone for. So bear with me on this one. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, and so here's the shoulder. I mean, here's the tail, because it was already there. Here's the head. And here's the back. All right, so I'll read you what it says really quick. It says, a transformational sound healing experience. With this interactive deck, which is why I love it already, You can experience the magic of sound healing from wherever you are. I don't always have to break out my sound bowls, you guys. Use the QR codes on the backs of the cards to hear the exquisite, powerful harmonics of quartz alchemy singing bowls infused with gemstones, minerals, and metals. Their frequencies drop you into the soul and create an inner expansiveness and awakening. When we listen, breathe, receive, embody, and integrate, we heal. She Witchy Wellnez, baby. Yep. All right. So when we open it up, we have our little book. And it's a nice book. I can tell that already, right? It's a paper book, but it's a nice book. And inside of our book, we've got our kind of classics, right? So we've got the introduction, how to use the accompanying audio, breathing techniques, sacred space and intention setting sections, and then we've got information about the cards themselves, starting with Halo Gold, Azithrite, and Palladium. Azithrite, you know, sometimes some of these names, and including the acknowledgments page, we've got 105 pages. So we don't have pictures of anything. We don't have illustrations, but everything is numbered. So I'm assuming that the cards are going to be numbered, and they are, which is great. And then the book on the inside looks a bit like this. See, so they're numbered. And you get about 2 full pages per card, which is enough. I mean, it's enough. So opening this up, okay. The top of the box, it says from the inside, we are made of energy, sound, vibration, and light. Through sacred sound, we discover a new expression of our wholeness. Yes, because yes. The back of the box says, sound vibration is the bridge between connecting heaven and earth. We journey beyond thought, beyond words, beyond human touch, into the place of the ineffable. There, transformation happens. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I'm gonna share this because, like, I don't share very much of like personal stuff. You probably think I do. I really don't. But I'm gonna share this to say that suppose there was a dream that someone had recently, and maybe in this dream, they dreamt of something very, very profound happening to them and through them. And when this thing happened, it left them speechless. Like, literally, they were speechless. Okay, maybe they were me. And let's just say I did not have the words to express what I felt in those moments as this thing was happening. And it was a dream, but it wasn't a dream. And I know exactly what that feels like and what that means, right? To not even have the words to want to express, but you just don't have the words. Anyway, we'll talk more about that later. All right, but not going down the rabbit hole. Okay, so our first card. These are the back of our cards, by the way. And that's where the QR code is. And so let's start with the first one, and I'll show you this one. And it's the Halo Gold, Azithrite, and Palladium. So that's what the card itself looks like. Hopefully, you know, nobody tries to do some kind of, oh my gosh, you can't do that, you can't say that, like that's copyrighted information. But let's just see if we can hear it. This is only a test. Got it? This is merely a test. Algorithms. So. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's enough, because I don't want to get flagged or whatever, you know what I mean, they try to do to us, to be like, you can't be playing those sounds. But the point is, it works. And that's what I wanted to see was, does it work? And yes, it does work. There is even an app, you guys, because this plays on through the SoundCloud app. What? Okay, bear with me. Hello. You're so blocked. This is why I don't answer phone calls from random people. Anyway, could have been important. Have a family. Could have been one of my daughters calling from somebody else's phone. It's the only reason why I answered that. So you saw that live, right? Don't play games with me. So the point in saying all that, right, is to say that this connects to SoundCloud. And through SoundCloud, you can play with your cards. That is so awesome. I really do love that. So I'm going to sign up on that on a little bit later. But let me just continue to show you the cards. And then I'm going to put that on, you know, silence for the folks. So, yeah. So that works. That's beautiful. I love that. All right. So I just got to show you card number 2, even though I don't really want to go all the way. So number 2 is the Temple Within. And it's Ancient Infinite Love. So I'm not going to try to play any more of these here. Again, I just don't want to get flagged or whatever, or have, you know, have this beautiful video deleted because of that. And so this is card number 7. It's Platinum Goddess, Larimar, and Rose Quartz for purity, safety, and bliss. I know it may seem a little washed out, but you guys, I mean, the colors in here are really beautiful. Then we've got, just pulling some at random, Tiger's Eye, number 16, Tiger's Eye, Celestial Gold, Rebirth. So beautiful. Okay. Another one. Ooh. Card number 24. Pink Spirit, Gold, Dead Sea Salt. For perfect harmony. Oh, isn't she beautiful? Okay. And then let's do maybe like 2 more. Oh, wow. So card number 34. It's Dylan's Bowl. This is Saint Germain. And it's for love beyond time and space. So beautiful. And then, I don't know, we're going to say, okay. So Ruby, card number 39, for rootless, vitality, rootedness, vitality, and manifestation. Ruby. And yeah, let's end with that. So card number 46, Journey of the Soul, elegance, mastery, and totality. Yep. Oh my gosh, you guys, like, I'm really excited about these because, like I said, like, for, you know, them to do what they do and know the sides, if they are, they don't appear to be, they're not gilded, which is perfectly fine. They're not. If anything, I may do this sort of iridescent sort of gilding for these. But as I started to say, for what they are, right, the tool that they are, they're so beautiful. Like, cardstock. Oh, you guys are like, well, she didn't do the cardstock on that one. All right. Cardstock is comparable to the other oracle cards that I showed you. It's not super thick, but it's thick enough. So that means that, you know, they would shuffle well. The only thing that I noticed on like a card or two is, you know, like from the cut, but I mean, I'm not going to nitpick that, right? Like, there's a little bit of a ridge to, you know, a card or two, you know what I mean? Like where obviously the blade was a little dull when they cut it. Do you know what I mean? And that happens. But I can absolutely fix that. I'm not worried about it. But other than that, like the cards aren't bowed. They don't have a funky smell to them or anything like that. Like they're quite beautiful and very functional for what they are. So we are going to have so much fun with these cards. I'm really, really looking forward to it. And also, you know, something that I'm in the process of working on for you guys, right, is like, I don't want to just, moving forward, give you guys like just an energy reading, just a collective energy reading without any like real depth to it. So I want to start doing kind of more like, we'll talk about it later, but it's going to be more of a deep dive, so to speak, right? And because I feel like so many of you really want to truly know more about the cards, right? Like you want more than just a surface level reading, and you want more than just, okay, well, you know, she pulled some card and I don't really know what it means, and you know, she said that it means this, but why does it mean that? I don't know, right? So we're gonna have like two different options, like a day and night version. So one of those is kind of gonna be for the people who just want the reading, I mean, and they're not interested in, you know, in learning too much about it. They want to know a little bit about it, but they're not really interested in like the symbology behind it, or, you know, too much of the meaning behind the card. That's cool. That's cool. I got you. So those are going to be, you know, the simple ones. And then we'll have our other readings that are going to be for those of you who, you know, like really want to kind of like peel back some layers, and you really want to find out and figure out what it means. Because here's the thing. I'm not that type of I'm not that consultant who wants to be your be all end all. I'm not. I'm here to, you know, teach you, to show you the way. I'm here to show you how to interpret these cards for yourself so that you can pick up a deck. Do you know what I mean? And to be able to interpret them for yourself, to get your own meaning behind them. Because truly, honestly, who really has the budget or the time or the interest, the inclination to constantly have to go to somebody else, right, to ask them to interpret this meaning for them? So I really want to, you know, to dive into that and to tap into that for you guys. And I mean, like, so we're going to be doing like all those witchy things. And again, that's for those people who are interested. So I'll save that for the people who, you know, want to do the, who want to do the training. Let's just say it like that, right? So we'll have like a night school for the people who are interested, and then, you know, the day school for the drop-ins, the people who just want the reading and who don't want to learn about it. But in any case, I'm going to end this here because it's been long enough. I hope that you guys got something from this. I hope that it's been really, you know, inspirational or at least educational for you. And if nothing else, that you got an opportunity to see some beautiful cards today and to figure out, you know, whether or not you want to invest in these cards for yourself, which is, you know, absolutely a great thing if that's what you want to do. It's always good to have at least a deck or two on hand for yourself. And if you're trying to do that, I would recommend, you know, like one very basic tarot card deck, but something that you really, really resonate with. Because like if the artwork or, you know, whatever, like if it has no relevance for you, no significance, you're not going to want to pick it up. Like that's just what that is. Think about it, you know, like a meal, right? Like it has to appeal to your senses. So like it has to look good to you and it has to taste good. Like meaning, you know, that when you go to ingest that, when you're trying to digest this, right, aesthetically, it's got to mean something to you. There's got to be some symbology there that you connect with, that you resonate with, in order for you to be able to interpret that deck for yourself. You got to be excited about it. You got to be interested in it. Otherwise, you're not going to want to pick it up. That's tarot. And then with oracle cards, same thing, right? Like pick something that is kind of more universal. And it's hard with oracle because like it's not like there's one deck, you mean, like that kind of covers everything. There's not. It's impossible. There's not. But you do have decks out there that are specifically geared towards certain things. So like, say for example, you know, you just need some general inspiration, then go for a more inspirational oracle card deck. If you're going through grief or something, then, reach for that, right? Because there are decks out there that are specifically for grief. If you want to, dive more into like astrology, or, if it's about like love, sex, money, whatever, right? Like there's decks out there for everything. Okay. So with that, I bid you a fond adieu. Peace and blessings to you all. I love you so much. Until next time, everyone, ashe. Get out of here.